Hello everyone, it's me Pratima. So when I reviewed the Huawei Watch GT3 last year, I was honestly really impressed with how good it was. From a stylish look to a smoother user interface and long-lasting battery life, that thing ticked a lot of boxes. Fast forward to almost 2 years later, Huawei has updated it with the Watch GT4, which brings a couple of improvements alongside some new features. So is this once again the mid-range smartwatch to beat in 2023? Allow me to share all my findings in this full review. Okay, the biggest change you'll find with the Watch GT4 is in terms of the design itself. Huawei's GT lineup of smartwatches has always been a blend of classic and trendy looks, allowing you to blend in on all sorts of occasions, and never has that been more apparent. I have been wearing the 46mm variant with a brown leather strap, and I'm really digging this boxier octagonal design that Huawei has gone with this time. Yes, it looks a little bit bulky on my wrist, but I didn't find it to be cumbersome or anything in everyday use. Whereas I'm equally fond of its smaller 41mm model too, that looks a lot more elegant with its clean and lug-free design. Huawei also lets you pick with all kinds of strap options, so as far as design is concerned, the Huawei Watch GT4 is easily among the best you can get in this price segment. And as always, there isn't much to compromise on the build quality either. Thanks to its stainless steel case, IP68 and 5 ATM rating, the GT4 has survived through my everyday rough and tumbles just fine. Now, getting around the watch also feels quite familiar with this rotating crown and the programmable button below, although I must say I'm a little disappointed to see that Huawei still has not given any sort of protective layer on the display. That was one of my biggest issues with the Watch GT3 actually, so this is actually kind of a bummer. But with a little bit of luck and a whole lot of care, I am happy to say that my Watch GT4 has not suffered any scratches so far. As for the actual display itself, there isn't anything new to say here. You get a 1.43 inches AMOLED screen that looks sharp, gets bright enough outdoors, and is quite responsive to touch as well. Huawei's selection of watch faces has always been one of my favorites, and I like how I can customize around a bunch of them or create my own if I want. Even when it comes to health and fitness tracking, Huawei has not made any huge leap on the Watch GT4, but credit where credit's due, this is something Huawei has always been good at, and what they've done here this time is improve on the optimization side of things. And the biggest and also easily one of the most important upgrades here is the new TrueScene 5.5 Plus tech. In case you didn't know, TrueScene refers to the combination of both heart rate monitoring hardware, the sensor, and all the software algorithms complementing it. Compared to TrueScene 5.0 on the Watch GT3, Huawei says the version 5.5 Plus greatly improves heart rate readings during strenuous workouts with an enhanced AI algorithm and better sensor placement on your wrist. So when I put it next to my Samsung's Galaxy Watch 6 Classic under a high-intensity interval training workout, as you can see, both of them logged my heart rate and calorie data quite closely. Other than this, its blood oxygen and skin temperature readings do not seem out of the ordinary either, while sleep tracking with the updated TrueSleep 3.0 algorithm is also pretty insightful. It gives an in-depth breakdown of your sleep cycle, including different stages, and assigns a score to understand it better. The Huawei Watch GT4 is supposed to monitor signs of apnea, aka abnormal breathing during sleep too, and I'm not sure if Huawei has region locked it or something, but I simply could not find that option anywhere on my Watch GT4. That reminds me, I needed to manually enter details like the start and end date of my period for cycle tracking to work on older Huawei smartwatches, but the GT4 can now predict it based on my heart rate and temperature. Okay, moving on, the Watch GT4 supports over 100 workout modes, and Huawei also says that it has upgraded location tracking with dual band GNSS, which can receive two different signals at different frequencies for better accuracy, like L1 and L5 signals in the case of GPS. And although it did somewhat struggle in challenging conditions in my test, Watch GT4's location tracking is more than reliable for casual runners or even pro athletes. I also like how I can export my pre-recorded route to the watch to share it with my friends and begin my workout. Or I can even import a GPX file of my trail to the watch, which is awesome. The Watch GT4 has no problem automatically detecting a few of my workouts as well, even though it can only begin recording my route information after I confirm the workout. Okay, now let me talk about the software side of things. And right off the bat, what you need to know is that Huawei's Harmony OS 4.0 on the Watch GT4 is nowhere near as feature-rich or capable compared to Wear OS that you find on Samsung and Google's smartwatches. Third-party app support is also incredibly limited. You're also limited to sending quick replies instead of being able to type or dictate your actual messages or notifications, and it does not have Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity either. Having said that, I'd only be lying if I told you Harmony OS is a bad operating system for a smartwatch or anything. The UI and UX here is well designed and getting around the watch feels really smooth, and Harmony OS 4.0 also brings a couple of quality of life improvements like Activity Rings 2.0, where you can see your progress towards your daily goals. The Watch GT4 supports Bluetooth phone calls too, and I receive no complaints about noise or poor voice pickup from any of my frequent contacts. Unfortunately, Huawei is yet to add a way to dial a number from the watch itself here. Okay, that brings me to battery life, and once again, this is one of the main highlights of Huawei smartwatches. The thing is, while Harmony OS does not have all the bells and whistles of Wear OS, it is ridiculously more power efficient. Pair that with the limited connectivity options on board, then you've got a watch that needs very little power to run. And with the massive 524 mAh battery on my 46mm Watch GT4, it lasted me a little over a week when I had all the features like continuous heart rate and SpO2 monitoring turned on and used GPS rather frequently. Whereas it went over 10 days before needing a fill up when I did not use navigation that often, and charging it back takes up about 2 hours with the wireless puck that you get inside the box. Alright, let's wrap things up now. So it goes without saying that the Huawei Watch GT4 uses a fairly familiar formula that compromises on the software side of things to deliver a great smartwatch experience with exceptional battery life. Besides battery life, it's got a great design, a nice display, and excellent health and fitness tracking abilities too. And if that's exactly the combo you're shopping for, then I'm sure the Huawei Watch GT4 will not disappoint you. I can especially recommend it to those who value staying on top of their health and well-being above all the smart features that you typically get on a Google Wear OS powered smartwatch. So if you're in the market for your first smartwatch and have a budget of around $200, then this is a great buy. So everybody, that was all for my full review of the newly launched Huawei Watch GT4. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Till then, I'm Pratima, and I'll see you in my next video.